Welcome again, and this is Chris. Today we're going to talk about marriage and divorce, but specifically on divorce issue. And the reason why I want to talk about it because some people have a lot of questions around this type of topic, and at the same time we want to go to the depth of what does the Bible say about marriage and divorce. But like I said, most part is based on divorce. So obviously people can get married as a woman, a man and woman, they can marry each other, but we want to focus on the divorce part. Is it all right to divorce, and how does the Bible allow it, and why doesn't the Bible allow certain things when it comes to divorce? So we're gonna go to the topic. First of all, we're just gonna open the Bible. If you can open your Bible, that would be nice. So we open the Bible on first chapter. We're going straight into Matthew. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 1. We just have to, and the title of this, like, it's already written there. I don't even need to say much, but it's written marriage and divorce. So we're gonna go straight into it, okay? I'm just gonna read, so guys, just bear with me, and then. So this is what it says. Now it came to pass when Jesus had finished this saying, that he had departed from Galilee and come to the region of Judea, beyond Jordan, and great multitude followed him. Yeah. And he healed them there. The Pharisees also came to him, testing him, saying to him. So you have to understand that they came from Galilee. So Jesus was passing, like, literally from Galilee, and he was healing people from that region of Judea beyond Jordan. So people were following him, and he used to heal a lot of people, like a lot of people. That's the beautiful thing about God. He used to heal a lot of wonderful people who wanted to serve him. So we continue. So basically, he made the Pharisees. They also came to him. They were testing him. They were trying to, to test him if he actually knows what he's talking about, if he knows the Bible, if he knows his own words. So they were testing him. And they said, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for just any reason?" So, like, they start asking him this question. It's obviously it's Jesus. Come on, he always has some good answers into it. But this is what Jesus said. And he answered and said to them, "Have you not read that he who made them at the beginning?" And then if you have read the Bible before, in the beginning God created man and female. But let's just continue. Have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made a male and female? And said, "For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let not men separate." These are the word of the Bible. This is what God said. You can't, once a man leave his father and mother, go join his wife, basically get married to his wife, they two are no longer two people. They are no longer two people. They are one flesh, according to the Bible. One flesh. So that's why I wanted to touch this topic, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you can just get divorced." No, you can't just get divorced. It have to be only a certain reason. The reason why God say, the reason why God say when when a man and woman join together, they become one flesh. Because from the beginning on, in Genesis, from the beginning, God created a man, and then He saw a man was alone, and he needed a wife. That's why they created. That's why God created a woman as well for a man. So they still one flesh because a man came from from the a woman came from the rib of a man. So it's still one flesh. So even though you have your wife beside you, you two are one flesh, or the wife has a man beside him, one flesh still. Let's continue. This is the Pharisees say to him, why then did Moses command to a certificate of divorce and put her away? It was a specific question because Moses did that. If you read in the Old Testament, Moses did that, and the reason why he did that because the Israelites were stiff-necked people. Even the Bible literally says this. They were stiff-necked people. They never. Sometimes they were doing things. They wanted things that God wouldn't permit. And this is why Jesus needed to clarify this for them. And this is why he said to them, and this is Jesus talking. He said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts. So the Israelites, they were hard, sometimes they didn't want to listen to what Moses was telling them. Sometimes they were pushing Moses to do things that even God wouldn't allow. So the reason why he allowed it was because of this. They were stiff-necked people. And so Moses here, he said, because of the hardness of your hearts, talking about the Israelite, permitting you to divorce your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. You understand what I'm saying? Literally, yes, Moses permitted at his time people to divorce, but it was not so. It was not so in the beginning. It wasn't so. Continue. But from the beginning it was not so, and he said to you, whoever divorces his wife, except, this is very important because you can divorce, but except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commit adultery. So you can't literally I don't want you to be married with me. What do you mean you don't want me? You don't want to be together with me? We already married. Suddenly, just because you don't have feelings, just because it doesn't feel the same, it's wrong. It's wrong. Obviously, both men and women have to love their partner or their wife or the man as much. They have to show love to each other. They have to respect each other. It's very important. They have to respect each other. And they have to try to communicate together. Obviously, bad communication can cause a lot of rifts within a relationship. But I think the most important in this case, God was saying except immorality, sexual immorality. So when you start having sex with somebody else except of your man or your wife, then it's allowed to. Then you are allowed to divorce. Okay, we can continue. And they say to you, whoever divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another commits adultery. And whoever marries her who is divorced commit adultery. So you can't even marry a person who is already been married before. So let's say, a wife of somebody, they divorced, but they were married. You can't marry them. You are not allowed to do that. It's not permitted. If you do that, you are basically as well, you are committing adultery. You have to marry a woman who's not married. That's the first thing. Marry a woman who's not married, and then you're still in the covenant. You still following God's law and rule. His disciples said to him, "If such," this is the disciple of Jesus. His disciples said to him, "If such is the case of the man with his wife, with his wife, it is better not to marry." That's what I say. And the title of, we're just going a little bit lower. We're going to verse 11. But the title of the verse is Jesus teaching on celibacy. Celibacy, basically people who can have celibacy, meaning who are not married, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, you can just correct me. Who are not married. But in this case, this is what I say. 11. But he said to them, "All cannot accept this saying, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs." No, I think it's pronounced eunuch. Eunuch who were born though from their mother womb, and there are eunuch who were made eunuchs. First of all, we just have to understand what eunuch means, so we can change that verse. We can change that word to an understandable word. Eunuchs means you know when they remove, like when men do surgery and remove the testicle, basically they can't have kids. You remove them for, it can be a medical reason, it can be because you don't want it, or because somebody told you that it's better to do it. But in this case, eunuchs means castration, if we want to put it in the right category. So I'm just going to read it again, and then we put castration instead. And then from 12, for there are castration who are born though from their mother wombs. So there are people who are born castrated already. And there are castrated who were made castrated by men. So they are people who are castrated by, for example, doctors, for example. And there are castrated who have made themselves castrated for the kingdom of the heaven. And they said, who is able to accept it, let him accept it. So the last sentence where he said there are, let me just go back. He say, castrated. There are people who are castrated for the kingdom of heaven's sake. I think is literally trying to tell us there are people who rather want to focus in the kingdom of the Lord, so they want to focus on that. So marriage is not something that they put in their mind too much. I think that one of the way of thinking, or it can be that you are castrated in the sense of if you followed my rules, the way, the regulation, all that, you are castrated. for the kingdom of heaven, in the sense of like following God's commandment. And even if you get married and then do all those things, you're still kind of castrated as well. Yeah, that's it, guys. So we already got the answer. I'm just gonna say quick. If you get married to a woman, meaning if you, since I'm a man, I'll just say it that way. If you get married to a woman, because God created a man and a woman, so in other words, all other type of a marriage, if you can't literally, you can't get married to a dog, you can't get married to the same-sex partner. It's, the Bible doesn't say anything about that. So although all the other things, a part of a man and a woman, those are married according to the Bible. Those two can be married. But the only way, if you want to divorce, you can divorce only from sexual immorality. If one partner, let's say this one, choose to do some sexual immorality, then this person can say, okay, I don't want to get married. I want to get divorced, and it's okay, and it's all right according to the Bible. But God, that's the only reason you can choose to divorce your wife. Or other reasons, there is ways to trying to help those people who are married to come to create a form of union, to talk to them, conversation, trying to, for example, a pastor can sit with the wife and the man, trying to help them through their problem, instead of, oh, divorce is the only way. No, divorce is not the only way. You can sit with a pastor, or you can sit with a friend who can help you try to get back to your wife, or your wife trying to get back to you as a man. So it's very important to understand this thing, because a lot of people are just, especially modern time, a lot of people are just getting divorced for no proper reason. And I think like God created men and women to be one flesh, not to separate. If a man separate is already as well committing adultery, because God don't like that. God don't like that at all, according to the Bible. So thank you again. This is the reason why I'm doing it. I just want people to get a little bit knowledge about that as well. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope I'll come back with another one.